Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video on LCLY. We talk a lot about blades here on the channel because the right blade is the difference between quality lumber and, well, not quality lumber, aka Lowe's lumber. Nah, just kidding. Our main focus for today is on bimetal saw blades, what they are used for, and what makes them different from other saw blades. Anyways, let's get into this video. Alright, so this is what we're going to do. I just got a brand new bimetal saw blade, just fresh out of the box. The one that's on is just a resharp, probably of one of the double hard ones. That's just what we had been running, and who knows how many times this one has been resharpened, but it's time for a change. And so we're just going to put this brand new blade on and see how it runs quick before I talk more about its pros and cons. Alright, so Jade, could you just grab the tension for me? This is a lot faster with two people. We always make sure to clean out all the sawdust when we open it up. It's a nice opportunity to get it all cleaned out. Now this blade was kind of running with some chatter marks, so I wonder if it has a tooth missing. Here comes the new one. All right, now we are all set to get to milling. We have a nice 12-foot hemlock log next up on the deck. And so hemlock's not that hard of a wood. We were cutting some oak with it yesterday and it worked just great. So maybe this isn't the best example to use for this blade because this blade is capable of cutting through some harder density woods, but that's what we have on the deck. So it's just gonna have to work. So I am actually pretty impressed with this blade. You can push it pretty fast, and I always appreciate that. Now, it does have a much more aggressive tooth on it than I'm used to running, and so that of course will make it a little bit faster, but oftentimes, depending, it's just like, you know that you can't push it, and it doesn't want to push through the log quite as good, and these have done pretty well so far. Now, you guys might be wondering why it looks slightly different than the other blades. It has this grayish tint to it. I'll show you the difference here. So just for a quick comparison here, these are just your regular blades, and then these are the Bimetal ones. And you can see how they have kind of that grayish tint to them, and that was because they're sandblasted. The reason that they're sandblasted is that when they're joining the two metals together, because it's bimetal, right? It just ends up not looking as aesthetically pleasing because of what they have to do to it to join the two metals. So then they go ahead and sandblast it to just even it out, but then it ends up looking a little different from the rest of the blades. Anyhow, I just thought that that was an interesting fact. This type of blade is generally used for primary breakdown sawing, and that is actually what we do. Secondary breakdown sawing would be like if you had two mills and one was purely in charge of just taking off all the bark, and then the cant from that mill was then put onto the secondary mill, right? And then plane sawn or whatever you're going to do with it from there. It's really just for sake of efficiency. We don't have it set up that way here at the log yard, so the secondary breakdown sawing doesn't really apply to us, but we're technically a primary breakdown sawmill. Wow, mouthful, right? Anyways, a lot of people who use this bimetal blade actually use it for cutting specific things like kiln-dried lumber or reclaimed lumber, or even, I heard, telephone poles. These are all harder to cut woods, so this would be why you would want a more durable blade. And that would be another pro, is that it does, or at least it's supposed to last a little longer. If you do have a tooth missing on it, it's probably time for a change. But in general, it's just supposed to go or last longer without dulling. And of course, you can resharpen these blades, and we will be resharpening all of the ones that we use. We have a box in there of 10, so we will be making sure that these go to good use. I would be curious to see if these work better for frozen logs. I have not had trouble with frozen logs in a while, but it has been a thing in the past, and I wonder if these would work better for that. That's it for today's video, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. But other than that, I'll see you back here next time.